once I had one, and I woke up the next day, I thought, oh man, the guilt came in. I said, what did I do? I can't believe I did. I can't tell anybody. This will never happen again. This was insanity. And do you know, maybe it lasted about a week or two, and the thought kept on back. Well, you got some money. Why don't you go back in again? No. And I'd fight it back and forth. If there was ever a low to my life, it was that. Living these two lives, one of Mr. Clean, drug counselor, give you the advice, and at the same time, Mr. hanging out in abandonmenium shooting dope. It ruined it. I mean, I was like, it took a long time to heal from that kind of nonsense that I put myself through. To live
See, that's the edge of the volcano right there.
Oh,
now
that's
we're walking.
man.
Yeah, there we are. See, that's why we do this.
I was basically a suburban white kid,
right,
in an abandonmenium in the Lower East Side with the roof burned out, no running water, no electricity, with a group of junkies sharing needles in a room lit by candles.
Right.
And I got out of that, and I'd say to myself, what's appealing to you? Why are you doing this? And I couldn't understand
the
it.
land of no choice.
And here's the sick thing. I've been clean 45 years. There's still something appealing about that room full of drug addicts.
Yeah, I understand that.
And that only an addict understands. If you tell that to a normal person, they'd say, oh, you're a sick fuck.
Yeah.
Get a doctor in here. Get this guy out of here.
Right.
Yeah. And that's why I know it's a disease.
Yeah. There's no such thing as ex-addict.
No.
It doesn't exist.
But anyway, so that was in the back of my mind. And I had been doing other drugs, but never concentrating on any one thing until I would say in Florida, one of my friends had a buddy that was in Vietnam.
Okay.
And he was sending Vietnamese heroin back through the mail to the United States. And that was like just not on the same level of any other kind of drug that you could get.
Hardcore, strong.
Yeah, really powerful stuff. And I started using that. I had another friend his father owned a drugstore in Tampa.
Okay.
So he was taking morphine out of the safe, and he was giving it to me to sell, but I wasn't selling shit. I was using it all, and but anyway, I mean that's a sideshow. But now, you asked why? How do you get involved with something like that? Well, that is a progression too,
Right.
But I didn't have a habit even then. But when I got back to Jersey, I started, getting high every day.
At some point, what happens? You get caught at the clinic, like, you know what I mean, like
Busted.
What they call the cops on you? They come
No,
raid on you, or they just sit you down and be like, hey, listen, we know what the fuck's going on.
I was over in the city, and I was, those tenement houses had stoops.
Right.
And there'd be one stoop after another. People would be hanging out there. So I guess I was nodding on the stoop, doing what you do. And for some reason, some of the people that were in the drug program, I think maybe they went over for a Broadway play or something. I don't know what it was. And I don't know how they wound up in that neighborhood. But they drove by and saw me.
Hey,
that's my counselor.
Ouch.
So when I came to work that Monday morning, it was a surprise.
Oh man.
What do you
So they
do?
just put your shit in the box and walk you out the front door?
No, because they knew me. It was like, what's going on? And Jimmy, I tell you, it was almost a relief.
Yeah, I could imagine.
To live in that way, man, and finally somebody, okay, it's over.
To feel like a crumb like that, you know what I mean? To know that you were living two lives. Yeah.
So it was over. I surrender. I'm and in my mind, I'm thinking, I got to get out of here. I got to go as far away as I can. I got to get away, maybe for 10 years or something, and then I'll come back and people will.
Was that how you ended up in Cali?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I guess, and I don't remember. It was kind of foggy, but 2 of my friends took me to the airport, put me on a plane, and I flew out to San Francisco, and went into Synanon.
Right. Tell that story, because I've heard you tell it at least once, and
Yeah.
the Synanon story is a blast.
Well, let me tell you, this is strange because, I have 3 children,
Okay.
and my daughter comes over on Wednesdays.
Okay.
So yesterday we were sitting around and we were talking, and she said, "Dad, tell me about the cult you were in."
Yeah.
So I just told this story yesterday. It's kind of strange how,
Well, don't spare any details you spared her here. You know what I'm saying?
because I was afraid if I walked out, somebody would come after me and hurt me.
Right.
So
Right.
I wanted to I was trying to do it
The
the
Marines, right?
Whoever.
Or
Who knows?
Yeah, right. You know
Who
what I mean?
knows?
Like clearly they had power
Right. Yeah.
and had stripped you voluntarily of all of your power. Because when you take away somebody's ability to leave financially, right? You take away their identification. So you basically strip somebody of anything other than their physical body, and then you put them in clothing that makes you obviously who the fuck you are when you leave.
Yeah.
Because you'd be out in town in your overalls and shit. You know what I mean? And I don't care who you are. Everybody in the Navy, you know what I mean? If somebody escaped basic training or whatever, you know what I mean? Like even if you managed to get another set of clothes, you had, you wore, in the Navy, you wore this Dixie cup and the sun shine on you all day long. So you could be out in town, you'd see a guy and he'd have like a white circle around his head where you were getting burned in the sun all day long in San Diego while they PT'd you and marched you all over the place. You'd see a guy out in town who was like,